All right, so slightly different problem than the other ones in here, because if you look at this one, you have a prism, and then you have a cone, but instead of them being combined, you're going to have to do a subtraction here. So we're going to have to find the volume of the prism, the volume of the cone, and we're going to have to subtract them because it was a prism that had a cone kind of cut or drilled out of the inside of it. So let's find the volume of the prism first. I'm going to check the units. So I got inches, inches, inches. It says, what's the volume of the prism remaining? It doesn't say that they have to be in anything different, so I'm going to leave everything in inches. So I'm going to go ahead. Prism formula is area of the base times the height. Okay, like anything with a prism, it doesn't matter what you want the base to be. I like to leave the base as the bottom whenever I can. So we've got a base down there. So there's my base, which has a 12 and an 8 for a width and a height. So 12 times 8 is the area of the base. So that's my blue base there. And then my height is going to be this green side right here. Because remember, it's the height of the prism, not the height of the rectangle on the base. So that's my prism volume. So 12 times 8 times 14 is 1344. So 1344 is my prism. For my cone, it's 1/3 pi r squared h. And I got to sort a little bit here so I can find that it says the diameter of the cone is 10. So that means from here to here is 10. It's also in inches, so we're covered there. And it says the height of the cone is the same as the prism. So the height of the cone is going to be 14. So that means I'm doing 1/3 pi. The radius is only 5 because the diameter is 10. So I'm going to chop that in half. And then the height is 14. So I'm going to take my calculator and put all of that in there. 1/3 times pi times 5 squared times 14. It's going to give me 366.519. So 366.519. And then I'm going to subtract those two. So I'm going to grab the 1344. And I'm going to subtract the 366 with a bunch of decimals. I'm going to get 977.480. So 977.480. And it wants us to round. It doesn't say what to round to. So we're going to put nearest tenth here, and it'll say that when you're doing your problem. I'll add that in. So nearest tenth, which is going to be 977.5. So that's our volume there. So be careful because we can get in the habit of constantly adding the two shapes together, and it's not always going to be that case.